Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, August 18th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is, it is by honoring my joy that I am able to fully flow and show up. And this is what we want to do today. We want to find our flow, we want to find our groove, our rhythm, so that we can show up for this energy. Now, building to the eclipse, we have the intensity of this happening. I want to mention that we have the moon today in a state of perigee. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Perigee, which means that it is in a place in its transit, in its movement, where it is closest to the earth, nearest to the earth. And that's what actually causes the eclipse energy, is the moon coming between the sun and the earth. So we are going to be dealing with intense lunar energies over the next few days. Now let me mention, the word lunatic has come from lunar energy, from moon energy. And it's because the moon makes us feel. We have to be in our flow. We have to show up in order to make it through these energies. And this moon in Cancer is making many connections today to get us into the feels and get us processing, releasing. I have clinging to the past. We want to be able to move through any of these feels that are coming up. Before I get all into the lunar energy, though, I do want to mention that one of the other strong energies that's happening today is Venus. Venus in conjunct Saturn. Now, Venus this week has been very busy. Venus has been meeting with Pluto and Jupiter. Venus has been meeting with the moon. Lots of Venus energy going on. Venus in conjunct Saturn, the inconjunct, we're not seeing eye to eye, but Venus is so important. We've been talking this year about the importance of the self-love energy, how the self-love energy is going to be where the change comes from, knowing ourselves, honoring ourselves, holding an energy of worth when it comes to ourselves. That is important. And yet, here we have this challenge from Saturn where we're not seeing eye to eye, where we still have these Saturn shoulds that we have been working on. Saturn is retrograde in Sagittarius. We have been working on these beliefs, and yet there still are some places where the edges are rough, where we have to file down the edges, where we have to do the work, where we have to come in and practice self-love on an even greater, more expansive basis. I think that is such an important lesson in and through this eclipse. Such an important lesson in and through this day with this strong lunar energy. How are you showing up, nurturing, loving on yourself, moving away from I should do everything that the world's telling me to do and move into I need to show up for me. I need to do what's right for me. This will be very powerful if you're able to do that. However, you may feel that resistance. You may feel the places where you're not quite lining up. You may feel the incongruency within you when it comes to this. That's just a perfect space to come, bring that love in, expand through that love, and show up even more. Those places where it's hard to show even more up for yourself in that way. All right, let's talk about all these lunar connections. We start with the easy connections, and then we build into some of the more challenging connections. We build into that cardinal cross energy, basically. I mean, it's a wide cross, but it's a cardinal cross. The easier energies in the beginning of the day. We have the moon in Cancer connecting to Mercury. So this is definitely a sign. Listen to your body. Know the worth of what your body is telling you. Nurture on it. Love on it. This Mercury retrograde session has us going through Virgo, bringing our attention to the physical body. This connection is at 10 degrees. That is a degree of you're worth it. That degree also brings us into our physicality. So waking up, tuning into your body, what's going on? Is there anything that you need? That can really help. That can set you up so that you're ready to flow and show today. Moon connecting to Neptune. I so have this card. Moon connecting to Neptune. Intuition. Oh my God, I just said that. 444, by the way. It was 4 minutes and 44 seconds as I said that. Intuition is going off the hook. This is happening at 13 degrees, which is a 4. It's all 4. There may be some revelations coming through. This may be some revelations of some of this past energy that needs to be processed, that you need to hold yourself through. So again, listening in, tuning in is going to be your best friend. Listen, intuition, on fleek. Then we have some of the tougher aspects that are coming. We have the moon opposite Pluto. We have the moon squaring Jupiter. And then we have the moon opposite Venus. It's not quite across because the moon isn't quite reaching that point of connecting with Uranus yet, but it's still, like I said, it's close enough, and it's really strong T-square energy. T-square energy, squaring off, feeling that resistance to change. We are going to get into that with the 13 moon cards. Feeling that resistance to change, but when you feel that resistance, see if you can open. That is what I always get from this traveling card. It is the 8 of Fire, but I get it's time to open. It's time to expand. I feel like Maya may have pulled this in our GPS for this week for this transit. I'm remembering her pull this card. I'm remembering a lot of 8s. I don't know if it was for this transit, like for the moon in Cancer exactly, but I'm feeling it. See, when you come into that resistance, where you can open, because where you can open is giving you access to transform. Listening to the energy that we talked of yesterday, the empty. I actually have the empty card again. I have 3 cards from 13 Moon, but find where you can empty those preconceived ideas, those preconceived notions, those shoulds. See where you can shift that. Okay, wait, if I get into the truest structure of me, what is true for me here? What is true for me now? How can I show up in this? When you come into that resistance, that will bring great transformation. Moon square Jupiter. Jupiter expanding the energy in Libra. This is at 19 degrees. That is that 10 again. Self-love practice. Now here it may be where we're feeding that love into somebody else. It's so easy to choose somebody else over us. And a lot of us do that every day in multiple ways. Notice, are you choosing to put somebody else's needs in front of yourself? I always come back to that analogy of the airplane. Put your mask on first. You have to be able to breathe. You cannot serve from an empty cup. It's not to say that you can't serve, and it's not to say that you can't do things, but you have to tend to yourself. But there may be resistance. I won't be loved. I won't be taken care of if I'm not taking care of the world. That's not true. That's a faulty belief. And so it's a good chance to stop that. Take care of yourself. I have the slowing down card. The inner voice, slowing down, inner voice. Slow down, listen to your inner voice. What do you need right now to be fulfilled? What do you need right now to feel safe? What do you need right now to feel grounded? What do you need right now to keep moving forward in a pace, in a way that's true to you? Honor that. That is important. And that feeds perfectly in with the moon conjunct Venus. To me, Friday night with this moon conjunct Venus energy, such a beautiful time for TLC. Whether you outsource, go get a massage, or insource, take a bath, lay under the stars. There's still meteors that are flying about, which right now I think that it's a great chance to, see them, watch them, because the sky is so dark. We are in the dark of the moon. What do you need to be cared for? Now that moon conjunct Venus, you may want to be outsourcing it. You may want somebody to come in and nurture you. If you have that, wonderful. And hopefully that person who's nurturing you is also taking care of themselves. But if you don't get discouraged. Show up for yourself. Nurture on yourself. I think that's such a strong lesson of these Cancer energies. Like, it's so easy to put it out on somebody else, but bring it into you. This is divine opportunity for that nurturing. And like I said, I have 3 cards from the 13 moon. So I have the cards that I pulled the last 2 days. I have the Initiator. We're going through a quantum experience. What does it say? I forget where it said that in here. But going through quantum leap energy, aligning and changing. Oh, it says it right on the card, quantum leap. We're going through breakthroughs by us showing up for ourselves, by us stepping into our truth, by us accessing our power, by showing up for ourselves. It keeps coming back to the show up for yourself. Oh, here it is. Oh, hello, Skype. That didn't close. Receiving this card can be a mythic call that leads to quantum leap in consciousness. You are on this growth edge. Don't get stuck in your mind of trying to figure it out and make it happen. Breathe through, embrace the fears that arise. Don't curse what's going on, embrace it. Offer gratitude for it. This is helping you align with a greater part of your soul. What you need to do is get empty. Be empty. Be in that flow so that you can show up. And I'm going to remind you of this last line, which I was alleluia-ing yesterday. You must be empty in order to truly contain and hold space for deep soul listening to the self and other. Recognize that it is enough just to be a divine container. It is okay to empty yourself. It is okay to care for yourself. It is okay not to put the needs of the world in front of your own. And we end up, which is so perfect, with the Great Mother. So those two cards came out together, and I was like, of course, these cards are so important. Give me one more, to go with this theme. And it's Great Mother, which I don't know if we pulled yet. I surrender, I received. Being, nurturance, trust, receptivity, retreat, birth. Take a deep breath of trust, letting go. Address fear or wounds you may still hold around safety, survival. Breathe, relax. Trust that it is safe to open to the gentle, divine embrace of the Great Mother. She is waiting to hold and fulfill you with the real nurturance your heart craves. Release your mind's resistance to what is, as the truth you seek is often found in the simple acceptance of it. Surrender is a cultivated attitude of wakefulness to the divine directiveness within you. This surrender is not giving up or giving over. It is radical reliance upon the divine self within. What is being called for you to surrender so that you may be open to receive? Trust that in surrender you're being constantly filled. As you empty, you are being constantly filled, transformed, and guided. In your surrender, something new is being born. You cannot push or rush this birth or this process. I have that slow down card. Become receptive. And the affirmations, I surrender, I receive. And you will, as you slow down and be present and listen to your inner voice, surrender to this great divine mother, beautiful, great divine mother energy that is with you, supporting you. But you have to do your part. And you have to be willing to show up and do for you what you need to do for you. Simple as that. So, that is it for today. We're building into this eclipse. It is expected that you will feel intensity as we keep building into this eclipse. It's okay. Process it as it comes along. It is not weird that you're experiencing intensity. This comes with eclipse time. But as much as you can, keep offering yourself your heart. Keep offering yourself love. This eclipse is all about heart and love, ultimately. That is where it begins and ends. That is the focus. Everything else is just the fray. Keep coming back to love. And 3 little birds say everything is going to be okay. So, book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.